What's up, everybody? It's your boy Eric from Easy Computer Solutions. Yes, this is Easy Computer Solutions. Welcome to Wine Wednesday.
This is Hard Computer Solutions.
This is our computer solutions. Every Wednesday night, we got the lovely ladies in the building. Ladies, take over. That's it. That's right. And let's see, I got an echo, but that's not me this time. All right, so in the building, we got Catwoman we got the evil twin. Oh, that's the good twin. That's the good sister or the bad sister.
She's the good one. It depends on the person, to be quite honest with you. I'm gonna call me the copycat.
Oh, so we got Catwoman and the cat copycat.
Yes.
Welcome to the live stream. And we got Kimmy, aka Scrumptious, in the building.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing today?
Yes, as always, the VIPs in the building. Now, Emily will be here. She hit me up and she said she's running a little late, but she definitely want to talk about some of this Apple stuff. Ooh, she got it on her mind. So we're gonna wait until she comes in the building and go from there. So how y'all ladies doing this week?
We're doing great. There's so much tea. There's so much just tea everywhere. There's tech tea. There's just gossip. Hashtag who bit Beyonce. It's crazy.
All right, so let's talk about some tech tea. What's going on?
Oh, what isn't going on, right? I feel like so many things are going on right now. First, I know that people have been getting the Oreo update for the Note 8.
Not me.
I think Samsung has been watching you, man. And everybody else going off on the updates. Yeah, they're like, let's get it together. My Note 8, I haven't turned it on since I moved all my stuff to my S9 Plus, but Mr. Catwoman, my husband, he got the Note 8 Oreo. And I asked him, I'm like, did you notice a difference? Is it faster? And he goes, I don't really use the Note 8. And I'm like, oh. Yeah, he likes the S8 better, the S8 Plus better. I know, right? I was like, who can't resist the pen?
Yeah,
but
like
my Nina,
she over there like blasphemy.
Yeah, she has the S7. Yes.
Woo!
Yeah, it is with its case that I can. Wow, now you can see my daddy. We're gonna steal your information.
Yes.
Blur it out, blur it out.
Look, I got the S7. Woo, ain't that a pretty, just beautiful phone. Just beautiful.
Hey, she was giving me the eye. No, she was asking me earlier if we can switch phones so that way she can look at the S7 more in depth. And I almost cried because I just love my phone so much. And she has the 8 Plus. Yeah. And my hands are so tiny. They're just too tiny. Yeah, she said she can't get used to it. But we'll see. Yeah. Yes. Oh, and Nate says that they have the same case on the S7 Edge. Yeah, it's a good case.
Yes, it's a real good case. And I have a clear case. I got a speaking case on mine. Let's see. I got the no, man, I'm gonna tell you something. I talked about this a lot on my YouTube channel. I absolutely love this phone is beautiful, man. People talk about 18:9 aspect ratios and stuff. Man, when you pull out this phone, I mean, this phone is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Look, I love the big forehead and chin. You know why? Because look at the beauty of that forehead and look at the beauty of that chin. I absolutely love the Galaxy S7 Edge. But here's the thing. I made a video about the Galaxy S7 Edge, the Galaxy S8, and the Galaxy S9. And a lot of people in the comments were saying that the Galaxy S7 looked way better than the Galaxy S8. So when I look at the video, I say, not bad. The Galaxy S8 kind of held its own.
You know why? 7. Do you know why it looks better on the S7? Why? Because you edited it. That's why. You over there the scales on the S7's favor.
Hey, that's what you got there? Oh, look at the Catwoman glass.
Oh, I got my kombucha. I don't want to drink. We need to encourage her. We need to put pressure on her. I will drink water.
She will drink water. But she got that made a vegan force be with you shirt. Yep. That is
a little bit so people can see it.
Nice. See?
I'm mad you can't even read my glass. I got a glass that says because Trump. Okay. That's what it says on my wine glass.
That is pretty awesome. And what does your shirt say, Kimmy?
Oh, geek is chic.
Oh,
and it has Kermit on here.
Who's there? Let's see. Oh, that's cute. You got Kermit on there.
You got Kermit the Frog on there. That's awesome.
So aside from the Note 8 news, obviously Huawei has been in the news. I know that you guys had touched on it last week, but the government wouldn't let Kimmy talk about Huawei. So I think we should try again now earlier in the stream. Let's see if we can get your opinion about what's going on with Huawei.
I'm scared to talk. You know, they're going to come in and cut me off again. I am really excited about the P20. I think that's my next phone, especially in Twilight. I need it in that color. Screw all the other colors. No, P20 Pro. I need the Pro in Twilight. But I don't know. They came out with something. This is more or less talking about companies using their devices, not necessarily their smartphones. And so I know Eric had hinted to where they were supposed to be. Well, he was thinking that next they're going to cut them off works. And right now they're saying that's not going to happen. Hopefully that stays that way. It's more or less like, I guess, other devices they're using. But I don't know.
It's kind of against the law to just cut off someone's IMEI, because if something happens to that person, then the government is held liable if that person's died or something like that, and they weren't able to access their phone and call 911. So that's a very slippery slope that even when the Note 7 happened, the only one that actually put a little bit of pressure was Verizon. You could still use your phone, make 911 calls and stuff like that, but every time you called out, you got their customer service line. So let's hope that doesn't happen, because honestly, I saw this video on Total Tech. I hope everybody else has seen it, which was just marvelous. So he was talking about how the reason he believes that the reason why Huawei is being blackballed right now is because they are saying that they're not going to allow the U.S. government to have a backdoor to their users, and I'm just like, that's so funny. So they're basically lying and saying you do have a backdoor, but they're like saying that they don't have a backdoor. I believe that rendition. I'm more inclined to believe that than the fact that there is something scrupulous.
Oh, they're spying on us. Yeah.
I mean, they're watching us right now, right? So, I mean, you think about, all right, but maybe you think about this, right? I mean, when some stuff happens, like, you know, we have these mass shootings at schools, what do people say? Well, this person was talking about it on social media. Why they didn't do anything and stuff like that. So, I mean, when things happen, people say, well, why they don't kind of prevent these type of things from happening, right? But we don't want them to spy on us. But when something happened, they want us to spy on us.
Exactly.
So we got to have a common ground. So when somebody posts something, or somebody make a video, or somebody go and say, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and all of a sudden it happens, what happens? People say, well, they've been talking about it on their social media for a year. Why nobody didn't do anything? So they're like, okay, so now the government need to interfere into making it happen. But now people say, well, wait a minute, I don't want you spying on me.
Yeah, they say, oh, my rights. You can't do anything to me because of my rights. And it is a fine line. I don't have a solution for that, but it's definitely a slippery.
So I mean, the question is, so when we have these, you know, people that need help, mental help, right? And they post stuff on Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff, right? Should the government intervene at that point? At that point, that's being like spying on them, right? Or do you not, you know, just kind of leave it alone and let stuff happen? See, that's the whole thing. You're right. It's kind of a slippery slope, because when stuff happens, what the first thing people say, well, on Facebook and Instagram, they've been talking about it, doing this type of activity for 6 months, and nobody said anything. People, you know, say that they've been seeing it. Nobody reported it. Some people probably say they did report it. But at the end of the day, it happens. And listen, my heart goes out to the loss of life that happened. It's really bad. But when you hear these stories about this individual been posting stuff on social media for 6 months, then the first thing we say, well, why the government never stepped in? Well, because we don't want the government spying on us, right? So I mean, I don't know. What is the answer?
I want to put in my 2 cents about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone has seen the movie Snowden, and also I've seen the movie Snowden, and I've also seen the documentary about it.
Yeah.
And it looks like the biggest problem is that they're capturing all this data, but it's just so much data to filter through. You know, how do you know what is a false positive? How do you know if someone is just venting or if they really mean it? It reminds me of this anime, and I can't remember the name of it right now, there's these robots and they're trying to, it's funny how I always relate things to anime, right? There's these robots and they're policemen, and they're going after people in terms of like who they are at the moment and what's the risk of them more likely to commit a crime. And so then the robot police start chasing these people. And then because they're getting more anxious, more agitated because they're getting chased by the police, they're like, oh, we really need to capture them because they're really going to do something illegal. And it's like, but didn't we just like push that person to the point at one point? What point is it our responsibility? Because as a society, we're not listening to the distress.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, we do need a platform, right? We need a platform for freedom of speech, right? But then we also need a platform for like, I don't know how to explain it, just to talk freely, but also
like an outlet.
Yeah, we need an outlet, right?
Yeah.
So do you use Facebook as an outlet, or what will be
some
the
people
outlet?
do?
Yeah, and that's true. And so the question is, okay, so do people use like Facebook or these type of groups to vent out what they believe and what they think, right? Should the government spy on that part? See, that's the point. Like, you know, you want to be proactive. Like, you want to prevent these accidents. You want to prevent a psychopath going into a school or doing something. You want to prevent a lot of things from happening. But how can you? Because A, we don't want the government spying on us. And B, we want the government to spy on us because it prevents certain acts of violence. So I don't know.
It's hard because if you think about it, I don't know. It's like there's no answer. In a way, we just kind of have to have faith in each other. And I think that's where it always goes back to, is like how much love do we have for each other. But I know that there's some times that I'm at work and I'm just like, I need to tell you about yourself. I need to give you a reality check. But who knows that me giving somebody that reality check that day is going to make them spiral out of control and then come back and do something, you know, to the office or something like that, you know? So a lot of the times I just choose to stay quiet. It's like,
So, but here's another question. You know, us as human beings, we stressed out all day. We at work. We got to deal with a lot of things. We have to deal with a lot of things. And some people's minds are not strong. Some people don't have a strong soul. Some people not religious. Some people don't have anybody to talk to. They you know, so they rely on platforms to vent. And I don't know, man. I thought about this, like, you know, a while, like where is it? And they obviously using Facebook because now we got Zuckerberg got to go to Congress. Well, that's for another matter, but I mean it's Facebook. It's Facebook. So people using Facebook and they trusting people to listen to them vent.
Yeah.
And some people criticize people for venting on Facebook.
Oh yeah, they do.
I'll say that why you just don't go talk to a counselor, go talk to a preacher or pray, but they don't have that. How we help those people, you know, with the psychological issues. All they want to do is vent and really want to kind of get positive feedback from somebody. But in the comments, people, you know, the internet gangsters, so they always tap it, oh, just kill yourself and stuff like that. And that don't help, you know. So I don't know. It's a
there have been certain times though where people thought that they were like completely anonymous in certain places, and then it turns out that they weren't. I don't know if anybody's ever used the app called Whisper, where you create an account and then you just write anything random, just write anything random. And so there were some people that were, you know, talking about how they wanted to harm themselves, they wanted to harm others, and people would go in and they would be positive and stuff like that. But then, of course, after a while, the trolls came in and then they started being mean to those people. And then there was somebody who was like, I'm going to do something. And then turns out that was not private at all, because the FBI came in and knew exactly who that person was and picked them up and boop. And that was on the news.
Yeah.
So
that's the whole thing. Like, you know, I mean, when it comes down to people, and I really do think that people really need somewhere where they can vent and have somebody that could give them positive influence, right? And the problem is that you got so many stupid people in the world that will troll. We call them trolls. I mean, but you know, people say stupid things in the comments. It happens to me. It happens to a lot of YouTubers. But I see it on Facebook, like when people vent, people make a you know, a little short video about explaining how they feel, and this all you see in the comments is like all negative, all negative, all little positive.
That's why I don't even get on Facebook that much, because it's a cesspool of negativity. Yeah. So I don't even get on. I go on there and I might like some stuff, but then instantly I become so drained because everyone's just so upset, you know. That's why I like other types of outlets like Twitter, because they're really, you know, they're just really goofy. They're all about memes and stuff like that, and I just want to get away from the negativity. But unfortunately, Facebook is just a necessary evil because everyone's there. A lot of people are leaving. But I did also want to touch. I wanted to say two things. I wanted to read what Innate said, and then I also wanted it to touch base on what Emily said last week. So Innate said, people want to assume that there is a perfect way to control people. In reality, people know better. However, when people are reactionary, they tend to lose logic and focus on things they know cannot happen. So, you know, I don't know if anybody has ever seen this anime called oh, hi! Nice Superman.
This is my son.
Hey.
Hi!
Hey.
That's Superman.
Wednesday.
How you doing?
He said, "How you doing?"
I'm doing good.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. Got the Superman shirt on.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. There's an anime called Death Note, and basically it's a person who finds a book, and then they're like, I'm gonna become justice. I'm gonna embody justice, and I'm gonna start killing, you know, all the people that are criminals. You just write down their name and you think of them, and then they die, and then it kind of becomes like, is it really justice? Or are you just now embodying the criminals? Because now this person starts getting closer to the line. They go from killing criminals to people who are in the way, and you know, stuff like that. And then it's a really big dilemma. So yeah.
Well, you know what? One of the things that I found that, you know, our society is we got some screwed up stuff going on, man. I mean, oh man, I see when you turn on the TV. As soon as you turn on the TV and you turn on the news, or you just turn on TV, period, you start to see things that, oh man, it's kind of frustrating to see that we don't have those big role models, those positive people that used to always, you know, jump in the forefront to try to help people. You don't see that. And I mean, you know, usually back when I was growing up, we used to have the churches used to always go out, walk the beat. You know, knock on people's doors, try to, you know, voice positivity. Now you don't see that. You don't see the huge role models. Look, I use this platform to try to be as positive as I can. But we just don't see that anymore. It's like 80% of the world is negative. Yeah. And you just got that small percentage of people that just wanna live life. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And it's hard, man. It's hard, you know, especially when you don't have any role models. And look, and nowadays, our teenagers, the youngins, they need role models. What happens when you turn on the TV? You got everything is negative. Bad. Somebody got killed. This happened. You know, I used to wake up on Saturday mornings and watch cartoons. You remember, like Tom and Jerry, Transformers, and stuff like that. Whatever happened to like waking up on a Saturday morning? And that was like a ritual for us young, you know, when I was young.
Right.
I'm telling my age, by the way. And it used to be, you know, you get up early in the morning on a Saturday. You eat your, you know, you got breakfast. You got cartoons all morning. Then in the afternoon, you go out and play football.
In the afternoon, we cleaned up.
In the afternoon, you cleaned up. So, what happened to that? What the happened to that?
John Velez says something. I think he hits it. He says, "It seems like all TV is created around shock value," which I agree because I think we live in a society where the sheep put the other sheep in line, right? Because we're all being judged all the time, and so you see these people on TV, and we live vicariously through them. So when they're cursing or showing out and stuff like that, inside we like them because we wish we had that freedom. So what do? We start giving them attention and stuff like that. I know for me, I was watching the Queen Supreme Court, and I love New York from Flavor Flav, and she was on there.
Oh, wow.
And I love Tiffany Pollard. I was so happy to see her, and I was watching her, and the things that she says is not things I would ever say, or half of the things I would ever say. But then of course I had to have that little bit of debate with myself. I was like, you know, why am I giving her attention? You know, it's just kind of like perpetuating. But as long as you understand that you're not going to cross that line, it's okay. But I guess it's you're not sure of other people. Do they have that sense of maturity within themselves to say, hey, this is just for entertainment. I'm just watching this for the kicks and giggles, for the kiki time, you know, not because I'm actually going to go out there and, you know, perform all these.
But those shows breed other shows. Like when somebody watches a show like that, they make another show that's going to be similar to that because it got all the ratings.
Yep.
So, you know, they follow in behind each other. Nobody wants to watch a boring show. They edit people out. Like if you are boring, you are not going to be on that show anymore.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Derek Floyd, for the $10 super chat. Appreciate it.
Yeah, super chat is wide open. And you know what? It was so funny. I really appreciate Derek. Derek always comes through every live stream. I really appreciate that. But you know what I'm noticing though? I'm noticing that negativity sells, sex sells, drama sells. Oh, I want to see what's going to happen to the Kardashians next week. I can't wait to that next episode. You know, and when and the thing about it is, you see like positive programming. You see positive things on the internet, positive videos, helpful videos, positive videos, get no ratings. Yeah. But the ones that War Star Hip Hop, you know, the drama, you know, that type of stuff. I mean, millions and millions of views. And you say, well, that's the way society is right now. They want to see drama. They want to see somebody get to a fight. They want to see, you know, these people get hurt. Mm-hmm. It's insane, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean,
Check for Your Niece said, nowadays we have the internet online, more access. So people take advantage of being keyboard warriors, bullying. Back in the days, life was different without the internet. Yeah, it's true. But I think what the internet does, it puts a magnifying glass to kind of how we were without the internet. You know, before social media, people acted like that, but they would just act low key. And now you're just putting a magnifying glass on it.
Well, I can tell you one thing about internet trolls, because every time I drop a video, or even some of my older videos, and even on some of my other YouTube channels, they all over the place, man. It's like you can't get rid of them. You make all good videos. You try to be positive. You try to give opinion. You try to do that, and they all over the place.
Yeah,
I mean, they get on there, they curse you out for no reason. They call you all kinds of names for no reason. They say things for no reason. They sit behind the keyboard. They call you every name underneath the sun, and for what? Mm-hmm. For no reason at all. But they do it. I mean, you know, we call them internet gangsters. We call them keyboard warriors. Mm-hmm. We call them trolls. But they all over the place. It's insane about how Facebook and YouTube and Twitter brings the worst out of people. Mm-hmm. And it's terrible.
But there's actually people who get paid to do that. There are people who get paid to go on YouTube and start beefs and stuff like that. And then just recently, I mean, I guess it's been like this for a long time, but there's actually tech now that causes beef. Like there are bots that that go online. Yeah, there's bots. So I don't know if anybody watches film theories. And in film theories, he was talking about how bots were possibly used, of course you got to say allegedly, used to boost up the ratings, the Rotten Tomato ratings for the superhero movie, the DC one.
Oh,
and in the Justice League. I don't know. That's so sad. I didn't even know the name. Yes. But so I was watching that, and I didn't really care about whether or not Justice League had bots. What I cared about was how he was explaining the bots worked. So I suggest people watch that video because there is bots out there that start beef. Hi, Emily.
Hey, girls.
Hey,
hey,
everybody.
Well, I tell you what, I had to watch that live stream last week 3 times.
It was great.
And then y'all started talking about the Fourth Amendment without me tonight, and then my internet was running also. I think AT&T has me throttled tonight. AT&T's like, oh no, girl, we're slowing down that internet. You don't get to get on our internet and talk smack about us because I still have AT&T internet.
Sean Vega Velez says that the bots are created by Cambridge Analytica. Possibly.
Yeah. I mean, they've got all our data.
Yeah, they sure do.
It kind of reminds me of how, like in Wall Street, there's concerns because there's algorithm that's being able to be put in the stock market, so people will determine, the bots will be able to determine how the finances is going to go. And so then what if you have, an algorithm bot from another stock company colliding with another algorithm from another stock company, and then they're just feeding each other? Like, how do you know? Like, how do you distinguish what is real and what is not?
Yeah.
And what if we're all just being manipulated by these bots that are just kind of making all these determinations for us?
My bots are better than your bots.
Yeah.
Well, we were all manipulated by the people before, so now the people have made bots.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I want to welcome Emily to the show. If y'all, for people that never been here before, welcome to Wine Wednesday, where the ladies take over my channel, right? And we talk about everything, not only tech, but we talk about whatever the ladies want to talk about. But you know what? I want to talk about tech. I really do. And since Emily is here, I want to talk about the biggest news of the week. And it happened yesterday. And Apple revealed an iPad.
We said it was going to be what it was. This is what we expected. We have a less expensive iPad with Apple Pencil support. This is cool stuff.
Yes.
Exciting.
Yes.
I don't know what everybody's drinking yet, though. Are we not there yet? Did I miss what everyone's drinking?
Regular.
I busted it out today. Easy. I'm channeling you tonight.
Ooh,
I've got pineapple vodka and healthy AF coconut. So I've got my antioxidants and my vodka. So I figured together we cancel each other out. I think that's how that works.
You got to do a healthy chaser when you're drinking alcohol.
I'm confident.
Yes. And I'm actually drinking vodka myself tonight.
Awesome. It's a vodka night on Wine Wednesday.
On Wine Wednesday, it's a vodka night. But let's talk about this.
Really exciting.
Yes, let's talk about this $329 iPad that's been recycled with 2-year-old parts.
The pineapple apple pen.
Now, I mean, the only new part on this new iPad is the digitizer that they put on it. So they put the Fusion A10 Fusion.
The Fusion A10 drive. Yep.
With 2-3 gigs of RAM. It still got the same body style as the older with iPad Air, I want to say.
Yes.
Okay, not that. I don't think it's the iPad Air 2. I think it's the iPad Air 1.
It's got the thicker bezel.
Yes,
it has the thicker bezel.
So we're talking about 1, 2. That's 3 generations, right?
Yeah.
However, when you're dealing with kids and drawing and making things
need bezels. Yes, you do.
The bigger bezels and a little less glass makes sense.
I agree with that. I really do, especially when you want to market it towards the kids. Now, usually people that buy iPads for kids, they usually put them in big outer boxes, right? So I can see that happening. I can see that happening.
They put them in huge cases, and you can't do that without some bezel. And it keeps it a little cheaper, right? The smaller the glass, it's a little cheaper. It's easier to repair. It's a little less expensive to replace. I get it. I mean, this was a very... Like, I see the hate on the internet. People are like, this thing is BS. What is this for? I'm like, they told you what it's for.
Yeah, for education.
And when I'm on our school's PTA gifting committee, and the PTA gifting committee decides where the PTA meeting goes and what it goes to. And these are the kinds of discussions we have. How fast are they going to break? How much can we get them for per unit? How versatile are they? And not being able to quite draw on them the same way is one of those conversations. So I could see this being really cool, even for high school kids, to be able to take your notes on it much more easily. And Apple said, we'll never do a stylus, and they didn't. They did an Apple Pen.
But you know what? You know what? Here's the thing. I agree with you. You think about this. I agree with you, because at the end of the day, 99.9% of every child in America know what an iPad is. So it's easy transition, okay? And not only that, but having a stylus, it's also easy transition. And so the schools, it's going to be difficult for the schools, because if they're already on Chromebooks, and if they want to go to the iPad, obviously Apple's giving them a $299 price point.
Yeah.
But I believe that the kids, look, digital books is in, guys. Let me tell you something. Paperback books are gone. Everything digital. Not only that, but you can update books more frequently. To say like a history book. Think about it. When I was in school, how many presidents have we went through? You know, I mean, like I went through like one president, two presidents. And the history books got like they're like 4 generations behind.
Because books were so expensive. Yeah. I mean, we're talking. In high school, 300, 400, 500 books for each textbook for each class. Yeah. You now put a $50 textbook, digital textbook, on an iPad, and you've got kids that have broader access. And I think access to education is one of the things that this starts to play into, because our school district used to have dual books, because our bougie ass kids. I didn't say that. If you are from my town watching this, I didn't. But you're not anyway, because you all hate that I'm on YouTube, so whatever. Our kids had 2 sets of books so that they wouldn't have to carry them home, because the books were too heavy for the darlings. So they had a locker set of books, and they had a home set of books, so nobody's forgetting their book. But my dad worked at schools in the inner city in LA, and I'm like, so you guys have 2 sets of books? He's like, are you kidding me right now with this? Like, we don't have the money for 2 sets of books. If kids forget their books, lose their books, whatever, we're kind of out of luck. So this makes it a little easier. Yes, there was all this concern when the iPads first came into the LA Unified School District that people were going to get robbed for their iPads, and that didn't really turn out to be much of a problem. Kids losing them was a bigger problem.
That happened to us.
That you got robbed for your iPad?
No. No, we didn't have iPads back then. No, we went to school in Harlem, and we were part of a laptop program, and we were allowed to take the laptops home every Friday, but we had to go with a chaperone. Mm-hmm. If not, people were getting jumped when they would get on the bus and stuff like that, and their laptops would be taken away. And this was back then, so those laptops were like close to $2,000. Right. Each parent paid $35 a month from and it was junior high, so it was for 3 years. So it was probably more than 2,000. It was a lot of money, you know. Yeah. But people were getting jumped all the time, and so then they had to start doing the chaperone program, where the parents had to come and take you home with your laptop, and then they were even telling people not to use the book bag. Yeah. Because some people would take the book bags and they would put
came with the laptop.
Because it was comfy. It was like extra padding and everything. Yeah. And they would go home with those book bags, but they wouldn't put the laptops in it, and they would get jumped.
Yeah. For the book bag.
Yeah. It was horrible.
I am so jealous. We didn't have anything like that. My son, they had Chromebooks at his school when he was in charter school. Mm-hmm. So that's about as close as it's come to around here. We didn't have iPads, but he had a Chromebook.
So our elementary school kids Our elementary school kids get Chromebooks, and this is a huge fight going on in our district because at junior high, they have iPads, and then they have iPads all the way through to high school. So all their books and assignments are on iPads. But more than the physical iPad, they've been trying to use the Google Suite for education on the iPads, and I'm really excited about the new iPad UI for education. So they're making a whole classroom suite. And Andre Rivers in the chat room is saying most schools can't afford iPads. I get it. I totally get it. And a lot of schools can't. But if LA Unified can buy like 25,000 iPads, I mean that they are a big district, but they get a good amount of state funding. However,
how much is this new iPad?
The new iPad for schools is like $239.
Okay.
So the schools got $100 discount off of it, but these iPads are cheaper than and they were, and this is the cheapest one that comes with the Apple Pencil. But now they're building Education Kit. I don't know if it's actually called Education Kit. I would have to pull up the article again.
Yeah.
But they built their education suite like HomeKit, so they've got a whole classroom suite of products so that you can have this closed universe. And I think Apple. We had apples in my elementary school. I love Apple, but I know Apple wants to support education and creativity, but you're getting kids in young. Like when my kids go to college, they're going to be like, well, yeah, I know an iPhone. I just want an iPhone. It's easy. And if you start getting all of their papers that they've written from junior high on into one suite of products, like they're like, I'm in, I'm into the universe. All of my entertainment's there. My movies are there. My music is there. Everything is just in one spot. You're buying them into the universe. So as much as it's great that these are going to be more accessible for education, you're putting kids into the Apple universe. And that's something that Android isn't doing. Because even from Chromebooks, you might go, where are you going to go from a Chromebook? Maybe a Google Pixel, maybe an Android product. The Apple path of product is really clear. It's like you're going to go from your iPad with all your apps, you're going to put them on a phone when you have a phone, you're going to just stay in that universe.
And you know what? One of the things that I'm like, to think about this, right? How much money could that the school system is saving by not making paperback books? All right. Then you could everything that could be books can be updated. All right. And not only that, but you're moving into a technology era.
Yeah.
And so when a student walk into class, you have your teacher. Not only that, you could probably have them all connected together, right? You could do that. And as a teacher teaching, they could use the Apple Pencil and draw and make examples, and every student can see that right at their table. Right. And that's where I think where the technology comes in. See, a lot of people just blowing, it's Apple. Listen, it's not about that. It's about what the ecosystem and the communication with the ecosystem. This is what's going to happen. And I believe, like I say, if I was a teacher, I got the iPad, I got the Apple Pencil, right?
You got an Apple TV in your classroom, most likely, so you can throw things up onto the projector.
Exactly. So now at this point, not only am I teaching, I can teach sitting down. I don't have to stand up, and it's being projected on my Apple TV. I got my Apple Pencil, and I'm giving examples, and I'm teaching, and everybody can see it right then and there. I think that's a great thing.
And the books are different now. When my son's in 4th grade, when he does reports, they're interactive. So there's a NASA video in his report about a star that's doing something or other, because he's not just reading a book. Like the books now have audio clips and video clips and physical. They were showing like the dissection of a frog. Who had to dissect stuff when they were in school? I fucking hated that shit. That formaldehyde smell, that was the most disgusting crap ever. Dissecting frogs.
I actually enjoyed it.
Pigs, you did? I hated the smell. The dissecting was kind of cool. I hated the smell. And then when I became a DA and had to go to the coroner's office from stuff, I would have like gag reflexes because it was the same smell from like high school. But now you can do that digitally. You can pull out pictures and dissect things. They're using the AR to show you that. So for me, I always was I object a little bit to you going in there and killing a bunch of pigs for dissections in high school. But now you can just do it digitally, and you want to see what's inside, you can pull it apart and look at how it works on your screen and get that same learning experience, which again carries across all schools. But what we didn't mention is they're giving students 200 gigs of iCloud storage by default when you're a student.
Yeah. I saw
What?
that. That's
Each
amazing.
gets 200 gigs of storage.
Yeah. And you know what? So what the thing about it is, I mean, look, us tech reviewers, you know, a lot of tech reviewers been bashing, you know, the iPad and stuff like that. I get it. I get exactly what they're trying to do. Listen, what the Android side of it, besides the Chromebook, right? I do understand the Chromebook. You got the keyboard. But again, imagine that you got your iPad sitting there, all Bluetooth keyboards. So I mean, you got Bluetooth keyboards, you got your iPad. So that all sets the cost. I mean,
you can draw on it.
How much does a Bluetooth keyboard cost, for Christ's sake? What, $10, $15?
Logitech released one with this that's made for students. Like Logitech released a really rugged keyboard at like $99. It's a case and a keyboard made for kids, so crumbs aren't going to wreck it. And they also partnered with Apple.
Pencil, right?
The crayon.
Yeah.
So Logitech has its own Apple Pencil that's $49. So now you have something that's a little less likely to break, likely to fall apart. And I think that's really cool stuff. I mean,
can I play devil's advocate about all of this?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Just because what we were talking about before, about how everything that we're doing is being tracked. Mm-hmm. Now, when I talk to my children, and right now they're in 5th grade and they're learning algebra. I remember doing that in high school. So I know that they're pushing all this curriculum quicker to them at such a younger age, and it stresses them out. It really does. The amount of homework that they come home with, thankfully now they're in an after school, but the way that I put it into perspective for them is I'm always telling them, like, don't worry, when you get older, like, just do your best now, and that's what's going to be the habit that you're going to create as you get older. But when you get hired, no one's ever going to look at your elementary school papers and be like, oh, well, you wrote that E wrong. Well, now we're putting all of our curriculum that we're learning into a online repository. We don't know where that's going to technically get stored and for how long. What if they end up looking at that data to see, okay, this person was able to develop, from, they do so well in elementary, in middle school, they kind of picked up, high school, they slacked off. You know what? They wouldn't be a good fit for this role because after, repeated times in their life, we see that they, didn't put their best foot forward or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I'm just talking in theory.
But don't they do that now? Like report cards, and don't they put annotations and notes?
But it's not used in the real world when you're already an adult.
Yeah,
elementary school.
But it could be. I mean, you could technically find those if somebody. Well, maybe if somebody ran for office, you might be able to find all their old report cards. Maybe not. But people look for it. But the thing is, high schoolers. I worry less about the educational curriculum and more about the shit they choose to put on social. Mm-hmm. Because I was an asshole as a kid. Like, I was just an asshole. And if that had been recorded, videotaped, like, I don't know how I would work because you're kind of supposed to be an asshole as a kid. Like, that's how you learn to not be an asshole anymore. People tell you, I don't want to be your friend anymore because you're being a douche. And you learn and you have those friendship falling out and you have all that social stuff that is so hard in 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, and on to high school and college. But now that's on social. Like, I worry more about that because kids are making more adult decisions about what they choose to put on social without the adult experience behind those decisions. Mm-hmm. And it makes me, that kind of stuff makes me really nervous because the stuff you put on social has lasting repercussions. And Tim Cook actually made a comment about monetizing his customers, and I'm going to pull it up and come back to it real quick. But Tim Cook kind of slammed Apple a little bit in an interview. Not Apple. Tim Cook slammed Facebook about Facebook monetizing their customers and about how this would never happen if he was CEO. Because somebody asked him, well, if you were Mark Zuckerberg, what would you do? And he's like, I wouldn't be in this position because I don't monetize my customers. So let me find the quote real quick.
Well, let me say this though. Think about this. Okay, so again, I want to kind of express the devil's advocate here. I'm looking at it from a adult point of view at this point. If you got an outstanding kid that parents is interacting with their kid as far as schoolwork and being there, PTA meetings and being there supporting their kids, right? As they go along in school, even if they get the homework, you know what homework, Mom, Daddy, please, can you help me with my algebra? Sure. We sit down with the kids, we help them, right? Because guess what? If you're helping them, they stay off of social media because their brains are working in overtime to try to learn the curriculum. And that's the key. The key is to get smarter kids. So I agree that some things is overloaded for kids, but don't we need that right now? We need smarter kids. Think about this. These kids is the one that's going to be our future president, for Christ's sakes, right? When I'm old and gray, I want them to be a little smarter. I want them to work a little harder.
We're pushing too much on them at too young of an age.
Yeah.
We're pushing kids will be smart. Kids will find what they want. Kids have the whole world of the internet to explore and they will do it. But we are putting too much on them younger. And there's studies that are finding kids not with that don't have as great gross motor skills because we've made the playgrounds too easy. Yeah. So we're trying to we're not giving them a balanced development. We're making the playgrounds too easy because we don't want them to fall. And we're not letting them ride their bikes home from 5th grade the way that we used to do when we were kids, or walk, because we're kind of afraid of the world around us as adults. But our kids aren't learning in incremental steps of independence. They're trying to be pushed all at once. So you have 5th graders learning algebra. I couldn't help my kid with that homework, by the way. But you have 5th graders learning algebra, but they're not getting to develop socially because they're living in a time where my kid was making yo mama jokes with his friends at school and got in massive amounts of trouble. But that's the banter where you're supposed to figure out where you cross the line, what's not funny, what's not okay to say to people. And you have to, where do you learn that? If you're just not allowed to say anything. And he's like, we can't say anything at school. We were just making fun of each other, but the teachers got offended. I'm like, I don't know how you learn that if you're not allowed to do anything. You're not allowed to go home by yourself. You're not allowed to go to the park by yourself. You're not allowed to ride your bike by yourself. You're not allowed to fall off the monkey bars. You're not allowed to say stupid stuff at school. You're not, because it's all on blast.
Why? Because these are the times we living in right now. That's the whole thing. We living in some dire, crazy times when I remember, this say your son or your daughter was able to walk home from school and don't have to worry about a predator. Those back in the 80s and the 70s, we didn't have those problems that we have in now. I mean, I think now it's like, you scared to death for your kid to even be in school sometimes after we am. And so now I think times have changed. And I think some of the schools and teachers, think about this. Look, my mom used to be a substitute teacher a long time ago before she got out the school system. And she used to tell me she get cussed out all day by students and stuff, And so times have changed. Listen, when I again, I'm telling my age. There used to be something that's called the cloakroom. I don't know if anybody know about the cloakroom. If you ever pissed off a teacher, they had this paddle. Mr. Walker, come here. Go in that cloakroom. I'm gonna be there in 5 minutes. And when they bend you over, they pop the shit out of you with that paddle. And I promise you, for that whole day, the rest of that shift that I'm there, I'm quiet, I'm listening, I'm paying attention, because guess what? I ain't going back in that cloakroom. And all it took that one damn time to get my ass bust, and I was the best student on the planet.
And parents can't bring that either. And there's a fine line between beating the crap out of your kid and hitting them in the cloakroom. But sometimes you need to be able to give your kid an act right, and you can't even really do that safely anymore because you're going to get judged. But I don't think I'm much younger than you are, Easy, but we had a cloakroom, and there was a kid. I'm not going to say his name on the internet. Yes, I am. Chris Hernandez got put in the cloakroom and locked in. Sorry, Chris Hernandez got put in the cloakroom in junior high and locked into the coat closet. The teacher got fired. He was out of control, and she's like, "Whatever. You want to be crazy? Go be crazy in there. Shut the door. You go be crazy in there." But it's you argue with yourself. You can't anymore. You just can't anymore.
That's what I say. Times have changed.
I told somebody the other day, listen, we used to go out to play, right? You could go out to play and you didn't come in until the street lights came on.
Right. And you go to your neighbor's house and you're in somebody else's house. You're in everybody else's house.
No cell phone, nothing. So they had no way to communicate or nothing. Let your child go out now. The police gonna be like, you didn't know where your child was all day?
They're gonna come to your door with your child and be like,
yeah.
What are you doing?
Philip DeFranco was talking about that today. They actually passed the law. It was in one of those southern states that starts with the O. I don't know if it's Oklahoma or Ohio. One of those states where it's this to be more lenient towards parents because it's like the age of 9 and up, like your child is now allowed to walk home from school by themselves. They're allowed to go to the park by themselves and stuff like that, because what would happen is the kids would, go to school by themselves. They were like right there, and the police would catch them, and then all of a sudden DCF is there. The kids are getting taken out of the home and stuff like that. Or as soon as they find out that, oh, you went to the store and you left your kid, oh, I'm calling, So it was getting out of hand. So they passed a law where it's like, I forgot what is the name of it. It's like
But they reduce the age because in California, kids aren't allowed to be left alone until 12. So they reduce the age in that state to 9, which makes my 9-year-old, look, people, we have iPads and a PlayStation. My 9-year-old is not burning down the house. My 9-year-old will be lucky if he's home by himself for an hour if he goes to the bathroom. He's going to play PlayStation for a solid goddamn hour. Yeah. And that is all he is going to do. I have a Ring doorbell on my house where I can see who comes to the doorbell from my phone. I have a camera in my living room, and my kid can go up to him and be like, hey, Mom. And I can talk to him back through the camera. And he's got a phone. Like, what is going to happen? In California, the worst thing that can happen is an earthquake when my kid's home by himself. And we have a plan for that.
Hey, Sean made a good comment. I was like that. When the street light came on, everybody just scattered like roaches. We all, listen, think about this. If I came home when those street lights came on and I wasn't at that door in 15 minutes, I will get my butt busted. Woo! What, did you see that street light on? Why are you not home? Yeah. See, that's the thing. And I think I talk about this, we talk about the cloakrooms and stuff like that, which is all went away, by the way. I think they came up with like timeout and all that stuff like that. Things have changed.
Yeah, timeout is bullshit.
Yeah, things have changed. Like, and I think the answer to some of the questions is, and I see this. How many times have you went into a Walmart and you see a kid? I mean, like a little 9-year-old just go out of control. Mama, F you, and running up and down Walmart, stealing stuff, eating candy and all that stuff. And we like, what the hell are you doing? I mean, the parent getting bullied by a 9-year-old. I mean, but you see it all the time.
Kids are scary.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, insane. Like, I mean, what? Like I said, I'm telling my age. I used to, we used to walk in classroom. We didn't have no AC. We had to have the windows open and stuff like that. It was hot. We didn't have no iPad, nothing. We had to go to the library. We had to actually read, folks.
You know what the Dewey Decimal System is, because you have to use the Dewey Decimal System to find books. And now they do Google it or ask Siri. But the other thing that I've seen reduced in our school district for sure is recess time. So kids are out running around less, and that's a problem too, because kids are acting up more because kids are moving less. Yeah. If kids are too tired, they're not going to act up. Did you guys read Kevin Hart's autobiography? You Can't Make This Shit Up.
No, I haven't read it.
Holy hell! Okay, Audible it because he reads it, and it's amazing.
I love his wife.
It's amazing. But his mom, he talks about being in high school. He's like, I couldn't get in trouble. I couldn't have a girlfriend. My mom had me signed up for swim team, basketball practice, and something else. He's like, I got home at 7:00 and was ready to die. And my mom would shove food in my face, make me do my homework, and then I would go to bed. He's like, I was too tired my entire teenage years to get into any trouble. Like, I was just tired. And I'm like, and that is the secret to raising teenagers. They need to be exhausted.
That's so true. I'm going to be honest. So I had a situation with one of my daughters where they were telling me like, oh, a bully said this and this and that. And she wanted to know how to handle it. And I straight up said, tell me what the bully said, and I'm going to give you some diss. Let's write down some disses, It's like, oh, this person was talking about my hair. And I said, well, ask them, do you like me? Because you are sure paying a lot of attention to what I'm doing right now.
Right.
And she's like, I can't say that. It's like, she never ended up, like, I gave her up like just good comebacks and stuff, and she was like, I can't do it. I can't. It's too hard. Eat or be eaten.
Right.
You gotta fight. Not physically, obviously, but sometimes you gotta. But you gotta show people that they need to respect you, and that you're not the one to be played with. And then I even told her, I was like, "Have you talked to your other sister? She doesn't seem to get bullied. Well, what does she say?" It's like, she don't let nobody say nothing to her. I'm like,
right.
That's
right.
why,
It was so funny. It's so funny that I remember a guy bullied a female back in school, and I mean he bullied her, and tried to take her lunch and lunch money and all that stuff like that. She turned around, she looked at him, and I guess she got some advice from her parents.
Yep.
And I guess he tried to split it up to her like this, right? And no, you know what she did? She looked at him and kicked her right in the nuts. Oh my God. For 30, 45 minutes, he cringed. Never messed with her again.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's one way to fix it.
And everybody laughing at him. He wasn't a bully anymore after that. I mean, I think he kind of lost his nuts after that.
You're gonna be shocked. You're gonna be shocked by this.
In the second grade, there was this boy who sat in the back of the class, and we would have to go to the back of the class to sharpen our pencils and get stuff like that. No. Every time, we would be on the ground. We're like,
oh gosh,
fighting. I remember, and there was this one day where I just went back there, and he was there, and we looked at each other. And we just didn't even do it. We just kept it moving because he knew I was gonna fight him again. I don't care. But then there's times where I was docile, like in high school. I would fall asleep in class, and there was a guy who would throw paper balls at me, and I'd wake up and I'd be like, "Throw at all these paper balls," right? So then we were in Spanish class, and he was like, "I need your help. I need your help. You know Spanish real well. Can you help me?" And I was like, "Nope."
Call it out, dude. You know I want to know who it is. I want to know. We're just friends here. We're just friends.
I don't even remember the kid's name.
Oh, come on.
That's how insignificant he was.
I got problems.
You got to name names.
How to have that tougher side of me, and then also that docile side of me. I had to learn when to switch it up. And unfortunately, we're all under such a microscope, especially our children, that we don't know how to be. We don't know how to be. And so we're not learning these social skills, and our parents are too busy to teach us, because that's what it is. Our parents are busy having 3-4 jobs, both of them,
going back to school.
Yeah, going back to school, doing all these things that they don't have time to teach their children the social, give them the social economics that they need, for themselves. So unfortunately, that is why 80% of the world is so mean to each other.
And kids are so. Sean Vega pointed this out in the chat room too. He said recess built character. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're supposed to learn this not on the internet with people picking on you. You're supposed to learn this in 4th grade with people picking on each other. Yeah. And then one kid gets upset, and you hopefully go, okay, that was too far. Or that kid's like, okay, those people aren't going to be my people. But I never learned how to switch it on and off until I was an adult. So I was just, you said something to me, I will fight you. Like, you talk to me, I will punch you in the face. I didn't learn how to dial that back until I was older. But I pulled up the quote from Tim Cook that I referenced earlier. Mm-hmm. And Cook had said in an interview with Swisher, the truth is we could make a ton of money if we monetized our customer. If our customer was our product, but we've elected not to do that. Swisher said, what would you do if you were Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg? Tim Cook said, I would not be in this situation. So, I mean, I retweeted the whole article from Renee Ritchie, who I adore, but I mean, that's it. Facebook's monetizing. We are being monetized, and that's part of this. Like, social wants us to share because we are being monetized, and we don't get to learn how to be on the internet. You have to be right, or you're going to end up getting absolutely eaten alive. And the internet trolls of 14-year-olds aren't other 14-year-olds necessarily. No. So now you're dealing with a different scope. This isn't just you having to deal with your own kids at school. I'll tell a true story about myself. I was out playing Pokemon today with my Pokemon group, and the softball team had finished a game, and there's a girl from the softball team walking by where we're all out playing Pokemon Go, all adults with our phones. still a thing, people. And she's on the phone with a friend, and she's like, no. And then this bitch called me a whore. I didn't even know they were dating. I don't check her Facebook status. How am I supposed to know she changed her Facebook status to this and this and that? And she is going off on the phone about how she got into a fight with this girl at school because she's talking to this other girl's boyfriend because she didn't see a status update or whatever. And I'm like, this is a different world. Like, we knew people were dating in high school because they'd show up and hold hands, or somebody would be wearing somebody else's flannel. It was the 90s. You know, they'd sit together at lunch and you're like, okay, they're together now.
Yeah.
I didn't have to check her. I can't check 500 people's social.
Yeah.
I don't like you that much.
I remember when I was young in elementary school, and I used to play with these girls, and then it was just one of those days where they just weren't my friends, and I was really sad. So when I sat there by myself, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna play with myself. So I got up, I took off my belt.
It's Wine Wednesday. We're gonna cheers to that. We're gonna just take a drink. We're gonna just cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers. She brought her dongle to school.
I took off my belt and I started smacking my my shadow. I was like, mush, you're lying, you know? And would you believe a teacher said to me, what the hell's wrong with you? Put your belt back on. And I remember just going, just putting my belt back on. I remember so many stupid things that I did back then, but because of it, I learned from it. And of course, the situation could have been way worse, but I feel like sometimes things happen because we have to learn a lesson from it. And the problem is that a lot of times things happen, but we're not allowed to redeem ourselves. And it's not fair.
Yeah.
Because everyone deserves a second chance. Everyone's, you know, what happens a lot now with social media is someone does something dumb, right? And then they get attacked for it, right? And then they never get to live it down. So I was watching this documentary about Little Mama, about how she went on stage and the VMAs.
Who's Little Mama?
Yeah, Little Mama. Ooh. Yeah, you don't know who Little Mama? She's a rapper. It was so long ago. You probably weren't even paying attention. It was the VMAs, and it was
I remember that.
Gosh, it was they were singing the song New York with Jay-Z and with God.
I remember that song.
Alicia Keys.
Alicia Keys.
And like taxis on stage and stuff.
She got so hyped. She tried to bring Beyonce on stage, and Beyonce was like, no, just let them do the thing. And then she just got up there and she was like, and then she was the first person to ever get roasted on Twitter. Okay. And then so she started going to every like show. She was on the Breakfast Club too. And she was like one of the first people to get roasted on the Breakfast Club too. And then people started making memes about her when she was crying and stuff like that. And nobody, like everyone just alienated her. She was blackballed for a while. She's still not fully in the hip hop industry. And they just never let her live it down. And she's such a good rapper too. And she don't curse. She's nice. You know,
that's why I don't know who she is.
Yeah.
Well, you like so funny. But you know what's so funny?
There's people in the comments saying, Little Mama gets no forgive. I forgive you, Little Mama.
You know what's funny?
I'm down for you. I actually follow you on Twitter now.
It's so funny. Don't we
can't put you down.
Booch down.
Remember when people sing to screw up the national anthem? And
they deserve to be roasted for that shit. Though. Yeah. When they're terrible, they deserve it. When they're terrible,
when they forget the words, they have a
They deserve that. They deserve every second they get of that because that's actually a screw up. But here's the thing: here's what bothers me about where we're at, and this unpopular opinion. So if we piss people off, I'm sorry. I love you. You're not AT&T. But Billy Bush, do we remember when that clip came out of Trump saying horrible shit and Billy Bush was sitting there kind of like awkwardly going, yeah, so weird. From how many years ago was that clip from? Gets fired from his job. Where are you now, Billy Bush? Like from shit that happened, 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Because people are pissed now, and he was literally the low man on the totem pole sitting there going, He's probably sitting there in his head going, "This guy's a giant douchebag. Why am I stuck here?
Right.
I don't even like The Apprentice. This is really awkward." But
everybody was like,
say that to the talent.
You know, you lying. If that was you, you wouldn't have said anything. And I have no problem admitting that. I wouldn't have said nothing either.
I wouldn't have said shit. I would have been like, yeah, those hoes are asking for it. I would not have said shit. I would not have said a word, and nobody else would have either. I mean, and
then, we've all been in a conversation with somebody where it's like, okay, yeah, okay.
There's times, I mean, you got to be a good friend for me to call you out and be like, you can't say that shit. But when if there's a power disparity, it's kind of hard to be like, you know, you can't talk like, you can't say that. And we know that after all the Harvey Weinstein stuff came out, Oprah was still talking to him. Like, Oprah's not calling him out. So, I mean, we give Oprah a pass. I get it. It's a different situation. But it's hard. These relationships are more complex than at the moment in a passing conversation. You're supposed to blast somebody because 10 years down the road, that person might be running for president. And now all of the shit comes out about what an asshole they are. Like, how is anyone supposed to have that foresight? And this is what scares me about everything being recorded. Did Billy Bush deserve that? I don't think he did.
Yeah. I remember
who's saying, Sean Vega. Sean, you are my boy tonight. Sean saying Billy Bush is working at a Starbucks in Kentucky.
Truth. Believe it. I was in one of those conspiracy chat room thingies, and they were talking about how Jessica
You just dropped that all casual.
They were talking about how Jessica Simpson, she was in the Casablanca home and she was being blackmailed because they had recorded her saying things and doing things or whatever. And so now she was, now the puppet of the Illuminati. And that's kind of like, they were kind of talking about like conspiracy theories, and maybe this is why she's doing so bad right now. Nobody's taking her seriously and stuff like that.
The Illuminati's bringing her down?
Yeah, exactly. So that's why she's the puppet of the Illuminati, because they had filmed her say so many things. And then, a person came on before and was like, do you know that all of these hotels rooms in Vegas and stuff like that, they have cameras secretly in rooms, and they blackmail politicians, they blackmail celebrities, they just blackmail people so that they can hand over the keys to this and that. And that's kind of what social media does too. If you think about it, they gather all of your information, and once they find something ripe for the picking, they use that against you.
Oh, like Facebook selling it all?
Yeah,
Facebook like selling all of our information.
It's one thing if you're taking my information so that I could buy something, so I could spend my coins, right? To kind of manipulate me to spend my coins.
That's fine.
But when you take my information to manipulate me to vote for someone, that's a hard line. And that's where Cambridge Analytica got everybody twisted right now.
Yeah, that's a hard fucking no for me. Yeah. Like, sure, go ahead. Show me. My friend, so I went to this Candytopia exhibit in Santa Monica. It's in the Santa Monica Mall, and they're trying to make it like the ice cream museum, because now LA only puts up places that people go to Twitter. Oh, Andre Rivers.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Super chat is wide open. That's what I'm talking about. He said he mentioned in the comments who was going to beat him in the super chat.
I saw that.
Thank you. Thank you guys. So we were at
gave us 10%.
Oh, that's a lot. I just realized that zero is after the two, not before.
Yep. Yes. Thank you, Andre.
And thank you as well, OTech Time.
Thank you, OTech Time. So we're at the Santa Monica Mall, seeing this exhibit. My friend is a district attorney, so she is not on social. All of her social, doesn't have Facebook, very private and locked down on Instagram. And then she sent me a screenshot the next day of an Instagram ad. 2 of the ads were stores that were next to Candytopia, where we were in the Santa Monica Mall. And she's like, how in the ever-loving fuck did they know that these are stores like we were talking about in the Santa Monica Mall while we were there? I'm like, well, by GPS, they know where we are. So they knew you were at the Santa Monica Mall. And she's like, but I like Instagram like one thing, and I didn't geotag it. I'm like, you don't have to tag it to share where you are. They still know where you are. So, I mean, people forget how much information, and it really starts to feel like what movie was it? It's not Wall-E, but there was another movie where they were walking down like the thing and all the ads were popping up everywhere. It might have been Minority Report, where all the ads are popping up as you're walking along. And that's kind of where we're at right now. I look at something on Sears.com, it's showing up in my Amazon feed.
Yeah.
You know, I ordered Domino's on a whim last Wine Wednesday because I was drunk. And I got Domino's ads popping up for days.
Yes. You know, so funny.
I don't even like Domino's.
It's so funny.
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
People check in, like, you know, see, I checked into the bowling alley, or I checked into like TK online. I checked into the strip joint.
People check in at the strip joint?
Yeah, people check into the strip joint.
I thought you were supposed to be on the DL at the strip joint. No, that's
if you've had enough drinks, you'll check in at the strip joint.
Oh my God, I knew someone who had the greatest excuse of why he went to the strip club. He said he was so tired of his phone ringing, and he knew that he had no reception at the strip club. That's why he was there almost every day. I'm like, yo, you are a smart dumb.
My phone has an off button. You can turn it off on the phone.
Yeah. you know, yeah, the airplane mode. But you know what's funny though, because I believe that that's one of the reasons why all of these companies is one of the many reasons why these companies don't want you to remove your batteries, because that's how you could go off the grid. Sometimes you don't want to be found. You just take out the battery. Boop. There's like
right.
But now you cannot take out the battery.
And you know what? I gotta be honest. When on the prosecutor side of things, I loved it because we prosecuted a lot of the circumstantial evidence from a couple of our murder cases where the cell phone pinged. It's like, oh, there you are driving down the freeway, and this is when you're having this call because I've got your phone records and your social. Like I can see everything you do, and then
between
I can get
that and social media. It tells all.
It tells everything, and then you get the cameras involved from the license plate readers, and you can find where your license plate is passed through and build a timeline. I mean, it's.
Can I have a question? I have a question about that.
Yeah.
What if someone doesn't have their cell phone with them when something happens?
GPS in the car.
No. Not
like
they don't have it. Like, they purposely knew that they were going to do something, so they didn't have their cell phone with them.
Yeah.
Would that be more of a case for you?
Well,
I would argue premeditation.
Exactly.
I would argue premeditation and say, hey, they left their cell phone at home because they know you can't not know, and that's what gets argued. But most of our criminals don't leave their phones at home.
But don't most dual callers now got internet, GPS, and all kinds of stuff?
The cars do. If you take your car, your car has location in the black box.
What? Yeah, they do. Every vehicle made from 2015 and up mandatorily has a GPS in it.
Yes, so they got GPS. What you gonna do? They got GPS in the car. You can leave your cell phone home, but you
gotta find someone you don't like, steal their phone, get an Uber with it. Make sure they're home drunk. I'm not saying any of this. Oh, this could go south. We'll have this conversation offline. Don't bury the body in Santa Monica. They'll totally find it.
Well, there is a satellite that whenever a crime is committed, it can actually record simultaneously within 25 miles with one camera worth of traffic information that's going on and stuff like that. So if you commit a crime, that camera knows.
And we like that camera because it tells us when there's traffic.
Yeah, they just embed it in stuff.
So I mean,
good night, Tech Time. Sleep to see you and your family.
Good night.
How it does.
London does a lot more with their facial recognition and their cameras everywhere. We still have some privacy rights to protect us from government spying, and I know you guys were talking about that earlier without getting into the Fourth Amendment too much, but we still have some privacy rights within the confines of our homes, but the privacy rights we have outside our homes are getting like narrowed and narrowed and narrowed. And the government's just going to keep saying, look at what our population is putting on social. Nothing we're doing is more than what they're giving us.
Yeah.
So once you put it on social, you are allowing it to be accessed. What happens in your four walls of your home is still supposed to be private, but once you put that shit on social, it's not private anymore.
Nope.
You put your weed farm on your Twitter feed, it's not private anymore, people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Social media is not private.
Instagram burns a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's not private.
Like
These
the fact
Burn Book
that
apps aren't private.
when people were downloading their files from Facebook, they were seeing that Facebook was recording and having logs of people's calls and text messages if you had an Android phone. So
yeah,
you know, I was like, I knew so. I had a feeling. I had a feeling because whenever I would turn on the Messenger app, it's like, this is your phone number. Do you want people to know? I'm like, no, I don't want people to know my phone. Do you want to do your SMS text messages through here? No.
Yeah. We say deny. And they said you.
It's okay, we still down another way for next time. That's exactly what they say.
And we've made it so easy because we've connected like our email address to all of our socials. Yeah. Like you get into one place and you can reset my bank account and everything. I just went through a whole like online security overhaul, and it is a giant pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Like 2-factor authentication is a pain in my ass. But once they get into one thing, and I have an online business, you get into one thing, your online business goes down. Your whole family, your life could go down.
For saying something, because that was the reason why I wasn't here last Wine Wednesday.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. I got money taken out of my bank.
No.
Yep. And it was a lot of money too. And money I don't have, you know? So I had to, oh God. I had to do an electronic wipe down of everything. Computers, phones, reset the routers, everything. I was even calling them like, can you change my IP address? They're like, it's dynamic, it changes.
It changes, girl. You're good.
Yeah. And so like for those days, I was just like, while I was doing all that, you know, I still had to go to work, be a mom. So it's not easy, especially since I have so many devices. I literally wiped everything, just started everything from scratch. And gosh, and it's hard because it's like, you know, I'm supposed to be a techie, you know, I'm techie. Sometimes people ask me for advice and I give them you know, advice and stuff like that, and
it's hard.
My account got touched. I felt like such a loser for those 4 days while I was doing the wipe down and everything. I was just like, I felt like a fraud. I felt like an imbecile. Because I'm like, damn, like here I am, you know, in the tech life. And this is the first time something like that had ever happened to me, you know, and it was really hard. Like it was really, really hard. So thank you.
Did you find out how they got in?
Yeah, I did.
Email?
No.
You don't want to talk about it? You don't have to talk about it. Why don't I talk about some of my experiences?
The thing is that because I know so much about technology, that I was able to figure out and pinpoint exactly how it happened, so that I made sure that it's not going to happen again. For other people, it happens, and the companies just tell you, oh, it just happens. We don't know. But if you really like,
you can find it.
If you pressure them, like, tell me how is it that this could have happened? How is it that could have happened? And luckily, it's when you call customer service, it's the luck of the draw. You're either gonna get somebody who's knowledgeable or somebody who's not. So I say call them again and find somebody who's knowledgeable. And the person that was knowledgeable helped me figure it out. Was able to pinpoint it, and then did a wipe down of everything, and then just changed. I changed the way I open up my phone now. I changed the way I use my computer. I changed the way I do everything now, because I'm like, there's just no way I can't let this happen again.
No, it's something I walk my clients through.
Yeah, I'm glad that you bring up the point about multi-factor authentication, because the company that I work for, we're implementing multi-factor authentication for like actually logging into your computer from home. So for the VPN now.
Yes, good.
And we already had it for Citrix, and we kind of had a multi-factor authentication, because if you had a certificate on the laptop, then that's how you're able to get through. But now we're putting the RSA. You guys ever seen like those RSA little fob tokens? Well, now they're digital and you can put them on your phone.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we're basically putting it on everyone's personal phone. And I had to let everyone know, this is just a token that every 60 seconds, the numbers change. It's not going to get into your personal data. Mm-hmm. We're not going to look at anything. We just need to implement multi-factor authentication because these are the guidelines.
Yep.
And this is the first time that the higher up VPs are not arguing with me about it or upset with me about it, because I think they're starting to realize the pressure about, data.
Yeah.
And those are the first people that will say, hey, can you set so that my password never resets? And I have to be that.
Yeah.
Nope. And then I get the pressure from someone else and I'm like,
nope.
Because it can't be done.
It can't. And what we're going to see, so Europe's already trying to change the rules on what you can do with customer data, but the requirements for companies to protect customer data are going to go up. What I'm worried about for my clients, I have clients who are, online business owners, but they run 500,000 person email lists and big Facebook groups, and they're responsible for what happens to that data, but they run large companies with 3 people. So this is the stuff we're talking about, privacy policies and what you have to do with your website, but then locking your business down. I asked one of my clients, I'm like, do you use 1Password or LastPass? She's like, no, I have 1Password. I'm like, the app? And she goes, no, I just have 1Password for everything. I'm like, girl. I mean, I have clients that I work with that have been hacked by their social media manager because they gave their social media manager access to their socials, but they didn't do it through an encrypted app like LastPass or 1Password. So when that person quit or left or stuff went sideways, they couldn't lock them out of their shit. And they can't change everything. I've had people stalked by people they were divorcing because they forgot to change that one password. I had a friend who got stalked on an airplane because she forgot to change her Southwest account, and her ex got into her Southwest account with her password, found out when she was traveling, bought a ticket, and cornered her on a flight. Like, she had literally pulled a Katie Holmes when she moved out. She moved out while he was on a business trip because that was the safest way to do that. Tracked her down on a fucking airplane. So it's not just internet safety, but it's also personal safety. Like, we invite people into our lives, but also I want my parents to be safe because my parents have my email address. And if somebody wanted to get to me, like, it's going to take a lot to come at me. It's going to take nothing to come at my mom to get to me. So I need the people around me to also be safe, because if you have access to my cell phone and my email, I need you to not get hacked too.
Yeah. And it's so weird how now being hacked is just somebody, you giving your password once, like, or for example, you don't have a PIN or Face ID or something like that on your phone, and you leave it there, and then somebody picks it up and they go on your Facebook, hacked by so-and-so lover,
it's not a hack.
Yeah, that's not a real hack.
It's not a real hack. But
that's how I found one of my exes cheating on me.
But to be honest with you, it's like fun for kids to give each other their password.
It's true.
My kids have a friend, and she comes over, and they love playing Roblox. Like, that's their thing. That's what they love to do. When they're together, they play Roblox. When they're not together, they're playing Roblox. Like, that's just what they do. And so I wasn't in the full conversation, but I overheard my girlfriend talking to the 3 of them about how they can't give each other the passwords, that it's not right, and blah, blah, blah. And so then I had to step in because, I'm in IT, and I had to give my input, and I had to let them know why and how much I love my girlfriend. And we've been together. It will be 5 years this year.
Congratulations.
And she does not have my password. Thank you. And she does not have my password, and I don't have hers. And that's just, that's how much we trust each other. I kid you not. Next week, her friend comes over, and she's like, oh, can you go into my Roblox? My password is, and we're like, did you not listen to the conversation that we just had? Like, you do not look cool right now in front of your friend, because now we have to scold you in front of your friend. Like, it's like, I don't know if it's like just a game. Like, oh yeah, just get my passwords. And I'm just like,
it could also be like a manipulation thing too. Because they're probably like, you're my friend, we're supposed to be best friends, I'm supposed to have your password, like it can be something like that too. Because same thing with my husband, like, he doesn't have access to my stuff, and I don't have access to his stuff either.
So Sean,
we actually had to have a conversation about that.
We have contingency plans on LastPass, so that if something happens, we have a contingency plan, and LastPass allows for that. So if something happens to me, he can get into my LastPass if he has to, which also is important because I run most of the stuff in our house. And if something happened to me, he needs to have access to that. Facebook now has contingency plans, which I found out when my girlfriend recently passed away. She had given her sister access to her Facebook page so her sister after her death could convert it into a memorial. Facebook allows for contingency plans, and social is starting to, but you definitely need to have some kind of a contingency plan so that if one person in the household does the banking, if something happens to you, you're not, not totally locked out of everything, because that would be a nightmare.
Password if I go to jail. I think that's a really good contingency plan.
That's a contingency.
People are actually including that. I go through, POAs to make sure that they're, a legit POA and stuff like that. But the POAs have been changing now. They're putting that language in there.
What is a POA?
A power of attorney. Okay, thank you. Sorry. Yeah, a power of attorney.
Yep.
They're including language to say, if something happens to me or you have access to my accounts or something like that. So let's say I pass away, right? And then he doesn't know my password. Well, now he's allowed to contact Google with that power of attorney.
Right.
And then Google can give him the password and stuff like that.
It's a thing, and it needs to be thought of. And I tell my online business owners this. I'm like, you're running a $600,000 business. If you get in a car accident, someone needs to be able to access your shit.
Yep.
That needs to happen. But you also need to be protected enough that not everyone knows all your passwords. So it's definitely a changing dynamic. I think I brought it up a couple of weeks ago about how are we separating digital products in
divorce?
Who gets all the iTunes movies and who gets all the music and who gets, Plants versus Zombies? Because, do you have to buy somebody out of your... All of our movies are on iTunes. The Marvel movie collection is on iTunes. We don't have physical discs of anything anymore. So we were talking about that because we're on one iTunes account at my house, but then we have the family account.
Yeah.
But we buy under one account. And then the kids have access under the family account, which I really, really dig. So yeah, it's real. But I don't want my kids having my passwords, and they get mad that they don't have my password. They don't have the access code to my phone. Because you access my phone, you have my world, no friend.
Exactly.
And their friends aren't allowed on the Wi-Fi. I'm sorry. Your friend doesn't get the Wi-Fi password. Your friend gets the guest access.
Exactly.
That is it. And parents don't do that. I talk to people all the time. I'm like, you're letting your high schoolers' friends on your Wi-Fi? If I was a high schooler now, I would be getting into everything I could from that Wi-Fi. I'd be all up in people's business through their Wi-Fi. I would totally do that.
And you're like,
yep. You give me your Wi-Fi password, I would have been all up in your shit. And I don't want my kids' friends doing that to me because it's funny, but no.
So Cafe said, well, how could you run a Fortune 500 company off a Boost mobile flip phone?
Somebody who got that fast thumb,
Hey, it's not getting hacked.
That's funny. Cafe, how could you run a whole Fortune 500 company on a Boost flip phone?
Yeah.
Oh wow! So let's talk a little tech. All right.
Somebody was running the country on an S3. So
we were just talking tech. Wasn't that tech? Cybersecurity's tech.
Yes, yeah. I'm
decent.
Sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. Now we.
I know. I see it. I was wondering when she was going to respond.
So I see some of these comments. These comments is hilarious, right? Somebody made a comment. Sean made a comment and asked the question of your sister. She's old enough to date?
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, wow.
So that's a compliment.
Yeah.
So that's a huge compliment. Yes, cybersecurity is tech. I know that, folks.
I'm just giving you a hard time. I'm giving you a hard time. It's the vodka.
Yeah, it's all good because I'm
pineapple vodka, sassy vodka.
Yeah. All All right, so let's read some of these comments. I'm seeing these comments.
They're great.
Chat
room is always on fire. Chat room, you are always on fire.
I know.
And I love you so much.
So Big Dog said that he has a GPS tracker on his girlfriend's purse and checkbook. So,
if you're putting money into it, fair. Otherwise, don't be a stalker. Have some faith.
Yeah, it's really hard.
Yes.
I'm torn.
See, my mom's gift. Okay, so my mom's gift her neighbor the Wi-Fi password. Oof.
Yeah. Yeah. I did that before. I was my neighbor, me and my neighbor, we went halfsies one time on the internet. Yeah. And then I remember I was fixing somebody's computer and they were like, okay, me and the two other people above me want to share the internet. What is the longest Ethernet cable you could? And I was like, oh, I think it only goes 100 feet. They're like, can that go upstairs? We get a router and then that one go. I'm like, I don't think so. I don't
pay for your own damn internet.
I mean, look, AT&T got like 2 megs or something for like $50, right? I mean, they expensive, but they don't give you a lot of speed.
They don't.
Yeah. But what I ended up telling them was that, okay, you could hypothetically do that, but there's a problem. It's called a door. When you close the door or when you close the window, you're going to hit that wire and most likely it's going to break over time. So unless you drill a hole. So we was talking about all different ways, you know, but there's people who share internet. As a matter of fact, when I worked for Comcast, I was with a guy and he was taking off services for someone. And then he went up there and then he came back down. And I'm like, what happened? And he goes, there's like 5 people connected to this thing, right? So he's like, I have to go get other tools. And I'm like, what? They do that? Yeah.
I have friends who are all connected to each other's friends who don't have kids and families and multiple devices. They're all on each other's Netflix.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'll give you a Netflix if you give me an HBO Go. Somebody else has a Beachbody on demand account, and it's like, this is all fair.
That's what we do. Yeah.
I mean, and this is one of the things when I work with a lot of digital content creators, and I'm like, guys, this is something you have to be aware of. Like on your back end, if you see 12 different IP addresses hitting your digital course, it's in your TOS that you need to boot their access because you don't want, my course creators aren't Beachbody, they aren't HBO. You don't want everybody sharing. And I only need your HBO Go password during Game of Thrones. Like other than that,
yeah, exactly. Same.
Like other than that, we're fine.
I'll ask somebody for their Netflix in a minute. I want to watch this.
It messes up the recommendations.
I know. But now you can make multiple users,
which helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys stay in your lane.
Yes, exactly. But I got to tell you, my husband was Netflix cheating on me the last trip I took. I came home and I looked at the Netflix. I'm like, who watched all the Jessica Jones?
Oh,
that we have like couple shows and we have solo shows. You don't get to watch the couple shows if I am not around. Like these are couple shows, not solo shows.
Yeah.
Stop. The struggle is real. Like you cannot just watch this without me.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Netflix.
Jonathan Souls wants to know if I was cloned. Yes, I was cloned by my mother in her stomach when she gave birth to stomach.
In the stomach?
Uterus. Ooh.
We have kids. That's the language we use.
Made out of recipes. The kombucha's kicking in. Yeah.
Yes.
Old Tech Time said, I go anywhere and I don't want to check in. It's true. You check in after you leave.
That's what I do.
Except for when I go to the movies. I can't help it.
So I started using Cut Story, which is an app that will cut up your little video and put it on your Instagram. So I'll just film a video on my phone and then you can cut it and put it on your Instagram stories a couple hours later. I was like, this is amazing. So I could film it and then I could cut it up and put it up to Instagram when I leave.
What's the name of that again?
Cut Story.
Okay, I gotta look that up.
So you can just film your little Instagram story and then put it up. I was wondering how some of the bigger Instagrammers do that for security. Like they'll film where they're at and then the story will get posted. I'm like, how do you save them and not post them? And that seems hard. They don't. They film it on their phone and then they upload it later. I'm like,
it's smart.
You can do that. Things I learned at Social Media Marketing World as I was watching everybody. I'm like, wait, I was with you when you filmed that Instagram story 4 hours ago. Like, what are you doing? And people are like, oh, it's cut story. I'm like, nobody tells me shit. Great app.
Desi asked us if we know about the fappening. Everybody knows about the fappening.
What is that?
What? You don't know about the fappening?
I think of fap and I think of something else.
No, you were thinking about.
I hear you, girl.
Frappuccinos?
No.
I hear her.
No,
it's the whole conversation. Do we know about what?
Actresses' accounts where they had nudes and stuff got hacked in, and it was released out on the internet and stuff like that.
What?
Yeah, because they didn't have two-step authentication.
Wow. That's like when they were using sidekicks.
Yeah, exactly. That was when they were using sidekicks. Exactly.
Sidekicks were a big deal. Those used to get stolen all the time. I dealt with all the sidekick robberies.
One.
I was so jealous. I never had a sidekick. I couldn't afford one. I wanted a sidekick so bad with the whoosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I would have went so bad. I've been rewatching Gilmore Girls and she has a sidekick in the later episodes from ages ago. And I'm like, it's still cool. It's still cool. Like I would still use that. Flip back type, flip it. Oh.
The baby pink color. That was like the ultimate color.
Yes. Yes.
You gotta love technology. And I remember my sidekick. I remember I flipped it too many times, and it actually, I think it kind of got off hinge, and I couldn't flip it no more. And yeah, I remember the sidekick. You know,
that's because you had the whole
flip it. Yeah,
you had the whole trick.
Type it in. And now I got this. I can type on this.
Yeah.
But it's not as cool. It doesn't go.
I know. I can type on this.
No, the screen just goes.
You know what? I just bought my kid Tamagotchis for Easter because they re-released original Tamagotchi. Y'all went dark.
Tamagotchi died.
It's okay. I'm putting new battery.
Auxiliary. I'm waiting for the sidekick to get re-released. I think we need to make that happen. I would buy one.
Yeah.
So I will buy a sidekick.
I will buy a sidekick.
I will buy a sidekick.
I would totally buy a sidekick. Oh.
Yes.
There you go.
There you go.
I know. It's just that when I turn on that light, everything's blurry and out of focus. At least with this, like.
Sorry, guys. What are you using for your camera?
And I'm using my Logitech camera, and then I have this little light thingy here.
Does it plug in though?
Huh?
Does it plug in, or is it battery?
No, it's plugged in, but it wasn't. No, I'm just saying it gets blurry because of the light behind me.
Yep.
So I have to put a light in front of me, and this is the one that I'm using.
I have literally right now. I have a lamp to the side of me because my other light's not working, and a ring light.
Oh, nice.
It's stuck to the side of my computer. I'm like, this is what we got, but we got a new screen, so it's all good.
I got a little lazy.
Oh my goodness, you guys crack me up.
I know. I love it.
Is it you want to talk more tech? What else do you want to talk about? We could go back to you know what we didn't cover from the Apple event?
Oh.
We didn't cover the best one.
What?
They released the smart mouse and the keyboard in space gray. You don't even have to buy the iMac Pro. You can get the space gray keyboard, Bluetooth keyboard, and the space gray mouse for the first time ever by themselves.
Can you connect it to your iPhone?
Yeah, they're Bluetooth, not the mouse, but the keyboard.
So when is Apple ever going to give us Bluetooth support? I mean, mouse support.
Yeah, that's what I
need mouse support.
I need mouse support.
They're like, you do want mouse support. Stop lying.
I need mouse support on my iPad. Please, Apple. Please give us.
You just touch it.
No, because you type in and you're using your mouse. Why you got the? I don't want to touch it.
Yeah. Especially when you're typing one like this and you're going. What? Am I the only one who bites their nails? Come on, people. You know you go.
Yes, you're the only one.
Yeah, I don't bite my nails.
I do.
Yay! I'm sorry, my son does. You and my son bite your nails.
I have so much stress at my job. I kid you not. I went on vacation for a whole week. My nails, Wolverine. Get back to work. Second day, nubbies. It's my nails.
I break mine. I don't bite them.
Yeah,
I break mine too by accident, like doing other stuff, or I'm trying to pry something open or like undo a screw, and I'm like, God damn it, what was I doing?
Well, my right hand never keeps nails, but my left usually does. But I don't. Yeah, every other nail or something.
Yeah, Mr. Catwoman has way better hands than me. Yeah, I remember when he proposed to me, he was actually wearing the ring on his hand. And I took a picture because his hand looked so good too. I'm like, how your hand look better than mine? I put it on mine. I'm like, damn, I'm not doing this ring any justice.
Oh, wow. Somebody say use your iPhone for a mouse. Can you really use the iPhone for a mouse? I never knew that.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that. I never.
Tutorial.
I didn't know how could you use your mouse for? Your iPhone for a mouse. Is it an app? I don't know.
Maybe you touch the screen and then the mouse moves.
No,
or maybe
you got to be connected.
Phone.
I mean, you got to be connected to the iPad, right? So I mean, how you use your iPhone? How you use your iPhone?
Maybe you can connect your phone to your tablet via Bluetooth.
I don't know.
Well, you can connect your phone to your PlayStation 4, and it acts like a mouse, tappy mouse type of thing.
Oh, okay, because of touch pads. Oh, I didn't know that.
You gotta show me before you go.
Okay, I will. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Thank you, Cafe and Total Tech.
I didn't know that. That's very cool.
We need a tutorial.
Problem that solved the problem of the mouse, right? I mean, one of my biggest issues with the iPad when I'm typing like like pages of long stuff, is I don't have mouse support. And I like to, go to copy and paste and kind of highlight stuff. And I mean, you got to be kidding me. Try to highlight something on the iPad, use your finger.
Each one teach one.
Yeah, so that's some pretty good information. See, we learn a lot of stuff here. That's awesome.
That is very cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see. I'm gonna pull out my iPad tonight. See, because I got the keyboard and I just need mouse support. It works.
Oh, Eric, have you tried the AR emoji yet?
No.
I want for that video.
Like on the AR emoji.
I'm waiting for that video.
Yeah, I want to see how you look like because I look god awful. I look horrible.
I got so many phones. I just dropped a video. I just dropped a video of a phone. Where is that phone, man? I got it right here, right? I mean, I got all these phones. I just dropped a video of this thing.
Sean Baker, I don't own my Apple Watch anymore. He's asking if the Apple Watch works with the SNR phone.
It's SNR phone.
What's an SNR?
Yeah.
What's the SNR?
Total Tech said AR emojis looks dumb. We know it looks dumb. That's why we want to see it.
Yeah.
We want to see how dumb it looks.
Yeah.
It's the cringiest thing ever.
I don't know. I don't know how I would look with AR emoji. I mean, I don't know. I'm already oogly with the notch. I have no idea, man. I mean, the AR emoji will have a notch, and it got me with the glasses all kind of twisted like that. Hi, welcome to Easy Computer.
It doesn't even do that. You know how when you used to watch kung fu movies and you would talk and then the mouth would still keep going?
Oh,
that's what
it is. Oh man,
that's exactly what happened.
You'd be like, "Hello, how
has anybody tried the food thing where you take a picture of your food with the S9 Plus and it tells you how many calories?"
What?
No.
Nobody's talked about that.
Nobody's talking about
Nobody.
Do people really want to know?
That is a horrible idea.
I mean, I really don't want to know how many calories it is that the food I'm about to go eat. No, I don't want.
What if you take a picture of the alcohol?
Well, it actually suggests other wines and stuff.
Well, see,
that's kind of cool.
I don't care. I don't care how many calories it is alcohol because I'm just drinking regardless.
Yeah, like I'm gonna sweat it out, so it doesn't count.
Oh boy!
It just might encourage me to get a second one.
My watch has been yelling at me to stand up for like
I know.
It
does that to me. I know it does that to me. I just got that.
It does. It's like stand up. My ring warns me to stand. Everything's like stand up, and I'm like, I don't have a YouTube setting on my watch. Like I'm filming.
Maintenance mode. I just noticed something. Did we get the memo? We're purple today.
I like it.
Purple.
It's been a long day. Well, there's exciting stuff in the world of Pokemon too. And I know we're not a Pokemon group, but it's tech. But the Pokemon game has some new stuff coming out. So
oh, like what?
It's been an exciting day. They're calling it research, but essentially they're quests. So they're adding a different quest component to the game and little like mini games inside the game. The way that Niantic does with Ingress. So there will be little games within the game that you can play on a daily basis because Pokemon players are getting a little bored, but they're going to like it's the same stuff. It's like, okay, we got the Pokemon, like woo! And then you got raiding, and then the raids are 2 weeks long. So after the first week, everybody's caught like 6 of the thing, and they're like, all right, now what? So the quest will give something else to do kind of on a daily basis, and then you'll get access to Pokemon that don't spawn in the wild, like Mew. And some of the legendaries. So Mew is coming to Pokemon, and I am super excited.
Pokemon.
You do?
Yes. Yeah, I love it.
So they're adding quests essentially, but Professor Willow will be needing our help.
Yay! Yes. So wait, do you use AR or no? No.
It glitches.
It glitches. What about you? Do you use the AR?
I use AR Plus, but only when I have to. So there was a legendary. 1-back, 2-back Kyogre, who on the iPhone 10 you could not catch without having it in AR because the game was glitchy. But they have updated the game, so I'm not having glitches. So I will do AR Plus sometimes, but generally I only do it to take a picture and then I go back and catch it regularly. So what team are you on?
Valor.
Team Valor.
What are you?
Mystic for life.
There's not much of us left, actually.
Really? Aw.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, less balls. So
you can join Tech Valor.
Thank you. Which one are you, Emily?
Mystic.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Our team's pretty heavy Mystic instinct, which is strange. But
really?
We're Mystic. Yeah, my community's Mystic. But we have a 900 person Facebook community. So today when I was raiding, there were like 15 of us at 3 o'clock hitting Pokemon raids, like, and people are like, okay, I gotta go back to work. Like, we don't post pictures of our raids because people jam out of work to come play with us. But the update's already pushed to the iPhone, and it'll be out. The quests go live on Friday. I think it's gonna be really fun.
Nice.
Yeah. And so
I gotta get back into Pokemon though.
What?
I gotta get back into Pokemon. I've been so busy, y'all. I've been making these freaking videos.
The game's different.
Too much. Yeah. I need to take a break. Now, next week I need to take a break.
Yeah.
Because I record every day.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fun. I mean, they added the community days, and the community days have been really fun. I mean, we had 90 people out and check in at our last community day, and that was one of the 4 parks our community was playing at. It's really, it's a lot of fun. Like, yes, you run across some strange personalities in the Pokemon Go world, but we had a blast. Like, you just get to go walk around and play with, people that you enjoy hanging with. You go walk around the park, you walk loops, play Pokemon, talk about life. I think it's fun. Let the kids play. I enjoy it. So, and I get competitive about stuff.
You can't go Pokemon raiding because you gotta hit the club with him.
I love Pokemon raiding, but I love it. So. Yep, I'm only level 36, so I've been trying. I've been working. I've been climbing towards level 40. It's slow.
Yeah.
So, yes. And Sean, yes, Pokemon is still relevant.
So whenever I beat him at something, I just don't care about playing anything anymore.
Like, and we're done.
Yeah, exactly. He was like, I'm already a level 10. I'm like, what? I haven't even started the game. Then I got to level 11. I was like, I'm done.
Hey, so funny that I remember when the Pokemon first came out, everybody was crazy, all at the party, all that night, all the people backyards and stuff, people going to jail, going Pokemon.
People dying trying to play Pokemon.
People falling off of cliffs.
Falling off cliffs, diving in water and stuff.
Falling into the street.
That's what always happens when something new comes out. All the dumb people
first
get hurt, and then they kind of go away. It's every time something new happens.
Yep.
Nah, the Pokemon didn't die. It just kind of calmed down a little bit. People that wasn't really into it, they thought they was, and all of a sudden they got out of it. So yeah, I mean, it's still around. Let's see, you work so hard. Let me tell y'all something. I really do. I thought about this as I wake up every morning, early in the morning, and I say, well, damn, I just went to sleep. And I'm up all night, and I wake up early in the morning, and I've actually been overworking myself doing this, so I felt kind of bad yesterday that I kind of felt like I just overworking myself, pushing a lot of content, pushing a lot of video because I got so much product.
Yeah.
But I am going to take some breaks here in between time. It's because, man, it's just, yeah, I've been doing it for 3 years straight with no days off.
Yeah. You need to take like a 1 day detox, a grind detox, just 24 hours.
I know.
You know, get on, what's that? Groupon, get yourself a massage for like $30 or something.
Yes. Or easy, or take a couple days, batch film some stuff, schedule it all to go up, and take 3 days off.
You know what? Here's the thing. I got 10 videos unlisted right now. I got a lot of content.
So take a couple days. Damn.
I got like 10 videos.
Like, I got 2 weeks of content.
I got 2 weeks. Yes, I do.
I just put them on schedule. They're scheduled.
Schedule them out.
Yeah.
Take a couple days.
Exactly. Like Michael Wilson said, you deserve to have some fun and time.
You know,
as a matter of fact, if you want to have fun, Twitter, hashtag who bit Beyonce.
Who bit Beyonce is getting lit on Twitter.
Who bit Beyonce is just I did that for my lunch break. I'm telling you, I went to work with a smile on my face because it was just, I love the memes. Everybody's just kikiing. You know, sometimes Beyonce just brings the world together.
I never saw that. Who bit Beyonce? Oh my goodness.
Really?
Wait, she doesn't know about what happened?
No, I don't know what happened.
I know what happened.
I don't know what happened.
I actually know this.
Story. You want to tell the story?
I don't want to tell the story.
Do you want to tell the story, Kimmy?
I don't know the story.
I will tell the story. So about a month ago, Tiffany Haddish, she was being interviewed and she was talking about how she was in a party for Beyonce and Jay-Z. It was an after party.
Okay, I know about that
in
part.
this party, there was this actress who was filling up on Jay-Z and was flirting on him and stuff. And Beyonce went up to her and told her to get off her man.
Yep. Okay.
Then Tiffany Haddish had another interview. And in that interview, she kind of explained what happened in the after party a little bit longer. And she actually explained that towards the end of it, she was chilling with Jay-Z. And then she heard Beyonce came over and she saw that her, like, you know, she was like distraught or whatever. She got bit in the face. Okay. And then Tiffany got mad. She's like, what? Who was it? Was that actress? Oh, I'm going to go beat her ass. And so Beyonce said, no, don't beat her ass. She's not even drunk. She's on drugs. So you kind of have to, you know, excuse that. Like, she's not like that all the time. But right now she's on drugs. So, you know, and then Tiffany Haddish like, nah, I'm going to still fight her anyways. And so to calm her down, they took a selfie together, which is a selfie that, you know, has her with Beyonce and Jay-Z. So right. What happened was when she did that interview, then they called Beyonce to see if that was true. And Beyonce was like, yeah, that did happen. But she was really mad. And then that's when she came out with that song. And in it, she said that if you're going to hang with the queen, you're going to have to sign a non-disclosure. And then really faintly you hear, Tiffany. And so that big interview just finally came out. And everybody is trying to figure out who bit Beyonce. This is it? Becky with the good hair 2.0.
This here right here, like
Tiffany Haddish. She's not the one who bit Beyonce. She's the one
she told tales out of school. Like when you go to those parties, you don't talk about those parties. It's like fucking
exactly.
You do not talk about what happens at A-lister parties.
Mm-hmm. And she broke the code.
She totally broke the code. Mm-hmm. But she brought us who bit Beyonce, so I love her.
Yeah, exactly. People are so. At first, people thought it was Sana. what's her name? Sana something. She's an actress. And then
oh my god, the Kit Kat.
Yeah. My favorite one today was Jessica Jones. She chimed in and she said that she's on the case. She said, you know, a professional, let a professional handle this. So if anybody can solve this, it's gonna be Jessica Jones.
It's so amazing. Jessica Jones or Olivia Pope. Somebody will figure it out.
Yeah. And then said, I cannot die without finding out who bit Beyonce. So that's our love Twitter. Thanks, Total Tech. He said, yo,
Total Tech.
Yeah. Aren't they great?
They're so great.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love that video. But that's one of those things that I kind of was conflicted about because it was crap. Like, oh my god. Okay, do I have another battery? But no, that video, like, if you listen to it, it's so funny because it's just like after you spit on the hoe, I'm gonna beat up that hoe, like, and they just keep going, and it's funny. But then part of me is like, that little girl saying that. But it's so they're just talking about how they're gonna jump somebody.
Oh
my god,
that's the best.
What? Oh my god.
Oh man. Oh my goodness.
It is awesome.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm taking out for earrings. Let me catch her in the elevator.
Y'all, do you know what clip that's from?
No.
You know where that clip of Solange is from? That is from Bring It On 2. Solange stars in Bring It On 2.
I didn't even see it.
With Hayden Panettiere. Oh, fuck, that movie's amazing. Bring It On 2 is amazing.
I have a question for people in chat. I know that this is a tech place, but is anyone going to be going to PAX East next week? I just want to know how far this travels. PAX East is a gaming convention and it's going to be in Boston, Massachusetts. I just wanted to know if anyone's going to be going at all. Yes, no, maybe so. Crickets. Okay. That was my shot. That was my one shot.
It's delayed.
It's delayed, yeah.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, it's not instant.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, 10-minute tech reviews. 10-minute tech reviews knows. My daughter says bring it on too. Absolutely. Bring it on too.
I'll text him, he'll be there.
Yay, awesome.
We got a booth.
Oh, you guys got a booth. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, where Total Tech you going? Word.
They got a booth.
I'm gonna go to your booth.
Wine Wednesday fam.
Yes.
I actually got the hashtag right this week.
Yep. Oh boy, it's been so much fun, man. Look at top of the hour. See that it Wednesday goes so fast. Oh my god, we've actually been having so much fun for 2 hours that we didn't even know that we were having this much fun for 2 hours.
Just kikiing and everything. Oh, he also goes to E3 at GDC.
Wow, way to go.
Oh,
you have games? Do you make games? I'll talk to you after.
She's gonna stop you now.
Oh wow. All right, so we're right at the top of the hour and another Wine Wednesday is in the books. Oh my goodness, this is what I'm talking about. We gotta do shout out. We gotta last week. So we gotta I know Kimmy did it last week.
No, I didn't. I don't have access. Emily did it.
I didn't do it. I kind of did it. Easy kind of did it. We kind of failed.
Yeah. All right.
Nobody does it like you.
Nobody does it like you, Catwoman.
Actually, my sister was watching me the whole time while I'm looking at the chat. And as soon as I see somebody new, I copy and paste their name and I put in the notepad. I'm like,
you do it.
You do a good job.
Thank you.
All right.
I love doing shout outs. So let's do the shout out right now.
Yes.
First and foremost, we got the Tech Leaks. And we got official Keith It. Tech for your needs. The Tech Couple. Big Miss Tech. Frank Betha. Eric Tanya Cassell. Our Dog. Innate. Total Tech, Big House Production, 10-Minute Tech Reviews, Mark Toran II, Redbird, Sean Vega Velez, Andre Rivers, O Tech Time, Derek Floyd, Cafe Enterprise, Technically T, Dexter Cumberbatch, Martez Black, Nantambu Nafasi, Robert Clark, Tutorial League, Ace Lucero, Big John Tech Reviews, TJ Cheveria, Jonathan Soul, Desi's, Jason Jill, Will Brassard? Every time it's always his name. You need to okay, if please, before we leave today, if you could just put it in there or in the comments in the replay, just how do I pronounce your last name correctly, please? And then King FPS and Michael Wilson. Ace Lucero. I already said it twice.
Oh, okay.
I accidentally wrote it twice. And then, of course, every time I say it, somebody sneaks in. They're like, hey, don't forget to mention my name. All right, cool. We got everybody.
Total Tech said.
Oh, Uno Nice. Hey, Uno Nice.
Total Tech said he thought you were about to say these. These dongles?
That would be awesome.
Oh, that's the first mention of a dongle all night, all the way at the end.
Because
R.I.P. dongles.
I felt the dongle earlier.
No, we did mention dongles today, right? When she said she was in school in the class and she about to whip the shadow.
Yeah.
Oh, she
said she was going to sit and play with herself, so she took off her belt. That is
right. When she said that, I about lost it. I said, I'm going to hold it together. She
Don't
said she's
get
going to play with herself. We're going to leave her right there.
Oh, I like this person.
You'd have been better off.
Commented. Michael Jackson moonwalk videos. Ooh, I like your name.
That is a specific thing.
Yeah.
Dig it.
Oh my God.
I know the girls. Please subscribe to all of us. So we are here all the Wednesdays. I'm gonna drop the links down below.
I would have been much better off with you saying like you had an invisible friend or something. He was like, yeah, I went to play with myself, so I pulled off the belt. I was like, whoa.
I was ready to die. I'm like, that's a different childhood experience.
Well, now you know why I got made fun of a lot when I was little.
Yeah.
Kimmy is dying.
Fun of her too.
Yeah, she went in on me all the time.
No, we thought it was coming though, because the way you set it up, you said, I said I want to play with myself, so I took pull off my belt. As soon as you said that, everybody like, whoa. In the classroom.
She don't have you beat though.
In the classroom?
Eric, she does not have you beat. When you said the genitalia the other week,
oh, yeah.
Oh boy.
He's a Jew, the genitalia.
Instead of Gentiles, I say genitalia. Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh boy. I mean that was a setup though. I'm reading.
You wasn't set up.
I'm reading the text.
You had them hopes in your system.
Yeah, and I said, what I say, the Jews and genitalias.
Yes.
10-Minute Tech and I are having a minute. We're still talking about Bring It On in the chat room.
I see. Y'all are going in.
I'm going in. 10-Minute Tech is trying to get out of the conversation quickly. I won't let it happen.
He's like,
so much. I also love Stick It. I love all the Bring It On movies, but I know the first two by heart. But I also love Stick It. Bring It On 2, fun fact, was filmed at the high school in my town where I live.
I said, "Brr,
it's cold in here." I said there must
be some clovers in the atmosphere. I was thinking that this morning, actually.
Yes,
because Albert just jumped in the chat. We're gonna leave it out
right next to the printer, and right now they're hiring a whole bunch of new people, so they're like printing a whole bunch of stuff. And then the HR person was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm printing stuff," and I go, "No, that's a good wake up call." And I was like, "Brr." Hi, Albert. You missed it. You missed it, Albert.
Ice.
Catch the replay.
Gabrielle,
he's all late.
Gabrielle Union. I could go for days. She's the best part of that movie. Anyway.
Yeah.
And Missy's the poo. Take a whiff. We might have to leave on that.
All right, ladies. It has been a wonderful night. And I told y'all, this is my best night. I love Wine Wednesday because it gets dirty, deep. It gets funny. This is hilarious. A lot of people always make the comment saying that we need to be on YouTube Red. Why YouTube don't make this a show? I always tell people they got to go to Twitter and hashtag Twitter to make this happen. I always say this, that if y'all want this to become a YouTube Red sponsored show, you got to hit YouTube up, and YouTube will have to contact us because we already tried and we didn't get no response from YouTube. So if enough people put it out there, then I believe that YouTube may consider it, making it an exclusive YouTube Red show. And I think this should be a YouTube Red show.
Yeah. I think have people come on and have fun with us too.
Yeah.
On the conversation. Obviously, we don't only talk about tech. We talk about a whole bunch of stuff. Right. Sometimes we get a little deep, and sometimes we get a little crazy.
Yeah.
So more fun than The View.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And just about everything else.
So yeah, we should be a YouTube Red show. Should be getting some type of sponsor for Wine Wednesday. So we're gonna keep up the good work. We're gonna try hard. I've been working hard to try to get it done, and it's a slow process. I haven't got no response. Everybody's still giving me the middle finger right now. So I don't know. Hopefully, this will happen. I don't know. So let's cross our fingers and see. But yeah, y'all guys put it out there, and everybody in the chat room, hit Twitter, hit at YouTube content creators, I believe, or YouTube, or I don't know. Just hit YouTube, and tell them that you want this show to be a sponsored YouTube Red sponsored show, and they'll contact me, and we can work out all the particulars and make it happen.
Total Tech is in. He's going to send a gang of strippers.
Yeah, and Catwoman's gonna take her belt off every week.
Every week.
I can dress up like your shadow. Just get off.
Whipping people.
I think that'd be hilarious.
That'll lead into a different kind of chat.
Total Tech's running a Facebook ad, I'm assuming, to find the strippers. You can do that on Craigslist Backpage cheaper. Saying. Yeah. Not that I know what that is. It's a topic for another day.
That's right. Hey, we go end on that note. Thank y'all, ladies, very much. This is Eric from Beats Computer Solutions, and yes, this will be demonetized. See, here's the thing. I put a picture up on Twitter last week on Instagram that as soon as I got off the air, the show got demonetized. But all that, I mean, it was hard rock, and then 24 hours later, it got remonetized, and I got an email saying, "Oh, this is an ad-friendly show." I was like, "Oh my god!"
For all users,
we was raw, and it was. And all of a sudden, I got an email from YouTube saying, "This is an ad-friendly show." I'm like, "Ooh!"
Unless your advertiser is AT&T.
Yeah.
You went hard on AT&T last week.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I said nothing that wasn't true.
And that's why they throttled you.
They did. They're like, we know you're still on our internet.
They hooked you up this week.
Yes. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good week, ladies. I really appreciate that. I will see y'all ladies next weekend. Well, next Wednesday. Thank everybody for showing up at the live stream. It was a lot of fun. I really love this stuff, man. But yeah. See y'all guys Saturday. Don't forget about Saturday Night Tech Talk. That we're going to talk about tech, and check out the special guest that I may have that's coming through. Well, for everybody else, I'll see y'all next Wednesday. Peace.
Peace.